Today we are going to start our new topic, that is 2D transformation and viewing in CG. Okay, so till now the things that we have seen must be clear to you, and then only we can go ahead. Okay, so that is what you have to keep in mind till now in CG, and you try to solve the examples, you try to see the concept, okay, each and everything, and try to understand it. If you don't get anything out of it, then you can ask me, okay, from the previous things, because in the previous PPTs there were some numericals that were involved in that topics, and that is what you have to do. You have to like try to calculate, try to get the parameters, try to get the coordinates out of the given algorithm, and you need to understand all of this thing. Okay, so same for the examination purpose, you can expect this kind of questions based on the tutorial 1, tutorial 2, and that is what you have to do for your reading purpose. Okay, and side by side you also have to read the theory concepts. So basically, till now we have almost complete 20% syllabus out of the whole thing. Okay, so yeah, you can consider that thing in CG. Okay, 20 to 25% we can say. And yeah, so now we can start our new topic, that is 2D transformation and viewing. Okay, so now, but obviously as per the name, we are going to do something on our objects, on our things that we are displaying, that we are illuminating on the computer screen, and we'll try to move our object, or we'll try to scale it. Okay, and also we'll try to rotate it by something that we have, okay, in this CG. So that is what next we have to study, and based on the concept we'll try to manipulate the things that we are having. Okay, so basically over here we have a simple concept, that is transformation, okay, as it is written over here. And as we all know, we will be having few things, few readily available things by which we'll just try to give it to our input, to our parameters that we have given, okay, and we'll move, and we'll try to move our object, okay, away from it, or we'll try to increase the size of that object. Okay, so now basic things that we are going to see in this particular topic, you can say unit, that is transformation. Okay, and we'll see which are the basic transformations that are available to us, which we can apply in the real-time application. Okay, and then we have matrix representation and homogeneous coordinates. So that is another thing that we have to see, that because whatever things we are operating on are the values, and based on the values we are like taking this thing in the matrix form, and then what it says is how we can represent it and how we can actually use it for simplification. Okay, because at the end you are going to do so many calculations based on the things, based on the task that you want to perform. So we'll see what is this homogeneous coordinates, and then we'll try to combine all of the transformations that we have seen, and we'll put it in this composite transformation form. Okay, so that our time will be less, our multiple things would be done in a single go. Okay, and then other transformation that would be applied, and then the viewing pipeline. Okay, how we can view it in our monitor, on our monitor, and how we can convert the viewing coordinates, okay, into the viewable form. Okay, so that is what it says, that viewing coordinate reference frame. Okay, then we have window to viewport coordinate transformation. Okay, so this is the basic thing that we will see, window to viewport coordinates transformation. Okay, how it will be useful to us? It will be useful to us in this three concept, that is point clipping, line clipping, and polygon clipping. Okay, so many of you have seen the, you may have seen this thing, that is the syllabus of UGC NET examination, because the CG subject is not there in GATE. Okay, as per your mail, you were saying that okay, we are preparing for GATE or NET or something. So CG is there in UGC NET exam. Okay, so in that they ask general kind of question, like these questions are related to point clipping, line clipping, and polygon clipping algorithms. Okay, and they try to like ask some equation, or they try to put us in some situation where we need to find the clip part. Okay, so this is where this thing comes, and this is how it is important to you. Okay, if you are like going further with UGC net. So basic transformations we have Okay, that is what we will see. And the very first thing what it says is transformation. As you already know, this is a very simple thing that changes the position, shape, size, or orientation of an object. But obviously, if I say you need to rotate an object, so for that purpose you just simply need to like change, you have to like rotate it in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, and you have to put it in the required position. So these are the basic things that you can perform on the objects. Okay, the very first thing is changing the position of an object. Similar thing is to like slant it a bit, or you can say shear it, okay, in technical term. So that is the thing that you can perform on an object. Okay, and then simple, you can scale it up or scale it down. And similar thing, rotation can be performed. Okay, so in simple terms you can just like change its orientation. Okay, so transformations include three such transformation we have in CG. So very first thing that we have is the translation, another thing rotation, and the last thing that we have is the scaling. Okay, so be with me in the like entire lecture, because we'll try to see each and everything in detail, and we'll also see one example with each and everything. Okay, so that you get an idea that okay, how this thing goes in the real world, or actual example, in an actual example. So translation, rotation, and scaling. Okay, so these are the basic transformation. With the combination of them we can obtain any other thing. Okay, so basic thing is that based on this thing what we can achieve is we can achieve our custom requirement. Okay, custom things out of it. So first thing is very simple, that is used to reposition the object along the straight line path. So you don't have to like put any logic, you don't have to consider any like rocket science over here. It just says that you just have to reposition the object along the straight line path as it is given over here. Okay, so xy is our like initial position, you can say, and x dash y dash is our required position where we want to translate it, where we want to reposition it. Okay, so as per the figure what it says is we want our line or object or point to be shifted from this to this point. Okay, so for that particular thing we need to apply is translation. Okay, so translation, what it says is like adding the translation distance, but obviously if you want to reposition it you just have to add something, or you just have to remove something or subtract something out of it. Okay, so now we have two things over here, that is like denoted as tx and ty, to the adding the translation distance tx and ty to the original coordinate position as it is in our figure. So based on your requirement, if you have multiple coordinates, multiple, but obviously if we are talking about a line, or if you talk about like a, a triangle or a circle or something, you'd be having multiple coordinates with you. So what it says is you just need to like go through it, go through each and everything, and you have to add this tx and ty to the original coordinate position. Okay, so respectively we move to a new point at new position, that is x dash and y dash. Okay, so we are repositioning our original coordinates to the new coordinates that are x dash y dash, and that we can do is by simply adding tx and ty to it. Okay, so this is how you will go from the initial position or from the actual position to the required position. Okay, so that is x plus tx and y is equal to y plus ty. Okay, and this is like called as translation vector or shift vector. Okay, the very simple thing, very first thing that we have is the translation. Okay, so but obviously this, if this is for a point, then you need to apply it to the point, and if it is for a complete object, for a polygon, then you need to like move, or you need to apply this thing to all of this thing that you have. Okay, at that point. So you, if you have a triangle, then you need to apply this thing to each and every points endpoints that you have. Okay, so now basic thing is that, so now what it says is we can represent it into a single matrix equation in column vector as. Okay, so basic thing, the thing that we have, the points that we have is needed to be represented into the matrix form. What kind of matrix form is, what it says is, for our understanding, see, whatever thing you will see on the internet or in the book, it can be in the row column, row vector form, but over here for our understanding we are considering column vector form. Okay, so don't get confused out of the internet or out of the book ke sir ye alag wahan pe hai and all. things that we have studied is in different form in any other available resources. So we are considering this form thing in the column vector form. Okay, so now this is how it will look like. That is xy, that is our point, plus the translation unit. Yeah, we have to move each and every one or just the endpoint. No, not each and every one, just the endpoints. Okay, so we have one example. We'll see this thing. Don't worry. We have the example, so you get more idea that how this thing will look like after the translation. Okay, so now we can also represent it in the row vector form, as I said, and that is how it will look. Okay, so xy and tx ty. So similar thing could be represented in multiple ways, but because we are applying this thing in our PHI package or in our programming thing, so we need to go in a direction where we can easily get this thing. Okay, because at the end, because these things are like simple at this stage, but if it gets difficult or if you have so many things with you, then you need like some sort of confusion would be there. So in that case, you just need to go in one direction, that is the column vector form. Okay, so and that is what it says, that single column vector representation is standard mathematical notation, and also many graphic packages uses this column vector form. So we will also follow this form, okay, for each and every understanding. Okay, yeah, so that is translation. Okay, so over here we have one triangle. Jinendra, pay attention. So we have few endpoints or few coordinates that is given to us, that is a, b and c, and that is having some value. And what it says is, see, each and everything you expect or you see in computer graphics, you try to analyze the question, because at the end, if even if it is like line generation, or if it is for like circle generation or something, you need to analyze the question properly and then try to start in your notebook or in the examination, because what happens is your marks will be deducted if you do anything wrong. Okay, so what it says is 2 unit in x direction and 1 unit in y direction. Okay, you just need to translate it with this particular parameters. Okay, 2 unit in x direction and 1 in y direction. So now you have two things with you, that is x and y values. Okay, so as per the previous slide, what it says is you just need to add the things, okay, to the endpoints that you have. Okay, so over here p dash equal to p plus t. Okay, so as you have, so what you can do is you just start with the individual things that you are having, okay, out of the question. So as it is given over here for the point 10 10, you can add up this way for simplicity. Okay, so a dash equal to 10 10, as it is in column vector form. So 10 10 is over here, and similarly 2 unit in x direction and 1 in y direction. So that is how it looks like, and then you just need to add it with the whole of this thing. Okay, and at the end you will be getting one parameter, that is the translated parameter, the translated coordinate, that is 12 11 in our case. Okay, for point 10 10. Similar thing goes for 15 15. Same thing is to be adapted over here, put it in the column vector form, put it in the matrix form, and then add the required thing as it is given in the question. Okay, so you'd be getting new coordinates over here as the translated form. Okay, so you are having 17 and 16. Okay, similar thing goes for the third point, that is again in our example it is 2010. Okay, so you have one mistake over here, that is 2010. So 2010, you have to put it over here, and you have to add one thing in this thing, that is the thing that you want to translate it. Okay, the points, the values with which you want to translate that object. Okay, that is in our case 2 1. So over here again you have to add the whole thing with the endpoint that is given to you, and you'll be getting the new value. So that is 22 11. Okay, and clear the screen, and at the end you'll be getting the final coordinates after translation, that is 12 11 17 16 and 22 11. Okay, so based on this thing, what it says is you are getting the actual translated thing, you are repositioning the thing, the object, whatever you have. Okay, but in examination what you need to do is, once you translate the whole of this thing, you just have to also show it in the graphical form. Okay, so whatever new coordinates you have, you try to like plot it in the older form that you were having before the translation, and you try to apply the translation, and the after translation whatever coordinates you are getting, you apply it or you try to plot it on the graph, and then you just show it. Okay, so that I also get an idea that okay, this is the thing that you have achieved, okay, after the translation. Yeah, again, one thing I wanted to tell you is based on the numericals that were based on this DD algorithm and all. Okay, many of you have not plotted it, okay, on the graph, so don't forget this thing because it will deduct your mark in the examination also. So whatever coordinates you have, if it is in like single quadrant, single octant, or whatever things you have achieved, you just try to plot it on the graph. Okay, so that is what we need to do. Okay, so now the next thing that we have is the rotation. Okay, yeah, so don't get confused over here कि sir हमको points calculate करने हैं, what we need to do what with this thing. So you don't have to do anything, you just everything will be given to you, and the translation parameters will also be given to you. You just need to take it and you have to do the simple calculation. Okay, and that is the required thing in this part. Okay, so you need not have to like go with the like point calculation, coordinate calculations and all. Okay, so now rotation is the next thing that we are going to see, and rotation, what it says, it is a transformation that is used to reposition an object along the circular path in the xy plane. Okay, so now we are repositioning an object along the circular path in the xy plane. So it will look like this. But obviously, whenever we say rotation, then we cannot be like simply moving it in one direction, or we cannot be like doing this thing. Okay, because then we want to change its orient. We want to orient it. Okay, so for that purpose, what it says is to generate an like generate an orientation. We specify rotation angle, okay, with which you want to rotate it, and a pivot point, that is the initial point that would be given to you. So in our case we have xr yr. Okay, it would be simple xy also. So whatever thing is given to you, you just have to start with it. Okay, so two things we have. Okay, the rotation angle, that is the theta. Okay, and one more thing that we have is the pivot point or the rotation point, that is xr yr. Okay, keep this thing in mind. Now few things you have to remember for the rotation. Over here we have positive value of rotation angle defines counterclockwise rotation. Okay, so this thing, what you have to do is you just try to analyze the quotient that is given to you, and out of that, if it says that you have to rotate it in the clockwise direction, then you have to take negative value, and if it says that you have to rotate it in the counterclockwise rotation or direction, then you have to take the positive value of the theta. Okay, so two conditions you have to consider, keep this thing in mind. Okay, so that would be like helpful to you. Okay, so now over here, which thing we can adapt or which thing we can use. So what it says is we first find the equation of rotation when pivot point is at origin 0 0. Okay, so equation of rotation. So now we have this thing out of the figure, that is x equal to r cos theta, r cos phi, and y equal to r sin phi. Okay, based on the given thing, based on the equation, we are trying to get something so that we can at the later stage we can apply this thing and simply achieve the rotation. Okay, so now based on this thing, what we are trying to get is the like specified thing, the thing that you want to achieve is the x dash. Okay, so that will be equal to r cos theta. Now theta is now again this thing, that is phi, you want to rotate it with the theta term. Okay, so now what it says is the x dash thing can be achieved with this, that is theta plus phi. Okay, the simple thing, you have to expand it with the equation, trigonometric function that you have, equation that you have, that is cos a plus b. Okay, and that would be like expanded with this thing, that is cos phi cos theta minus r sin phi sin theta. Okay, this is the thing that you will get out of that trigonometric function. Okay, and then similar thing is to be applied to the next equation that we have, that is y equal to r sin phi. Okay, similar thing over here, r sin theta plus phi. Okay, similarly you just have to expand it, that would be giving us this thing, that is cos phi sin theta plus r sin phi cos theta. Okay, so based on this thing, we'll try to simplify our equation so that we can easily use it in our example. So now what it says is, now we replace r cos phi from the previous thing, that is r cos phi. Okay, we just have like multiplied each and everything with the things that we are having after the expansion. Okay, and similar thing has been applied over here, r would appear in both the cases, both the things. Okay, so now what it says is now replace r cos theta cos phi with x and r sin phi with y in the above equation. You would be getting this thing, that is x cos phi minus y sin theta. Okay, x cos theta minus sin y sin theta. And similarly, you'd be having y theta y dash equal to x sin theta plus y cos theta. Okay, so now this is the remaining thing. What it says, you are apply theta to the phi. The phi was the initial thing that we were having in our hand. Now we need to rotate it with the theta. Whatever theta is given to you in the actual scenario, in the example, in an example, you just have to put it over there. Okay, and now based on this thing, what we'll do is we'll put it in our matrix representation form. And but obviously we are using the column vector form. So over here, similarly, this thing like could be taken in this way. So now we will be having one thing, that is cos theta minus sin theta, similarly sin theta cos theta into xy. Okay, if we represent the whole of the above thing in the column vector form. Okay, यहाँ पे थोड़ा ध्यान देना, this is nothing but we just have like removed it. Okay, so that once you multiply this thing, you'd be getting the same thing that is given over here. But over here we have like we just have splitted it into multiple parts so that we can use it for our coordinate, that is xy, to get the required thing, that is x dash y dash over here. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. And now you have one thing in your mind. Okay, we already have the xy point. Okay, we just need to multiply it with the initial form of first, second. Wait a second, what you are saying is, yeah, you can consider it. You can consider, because what we want is we want the theta to be like applied over the initial points, that is xy in our case. Okay, so that is what it says. You just our like y would be like simplified with one value. Okay, and if you like consider the either case, then also it is fine, because at the end we want is the final thing, that is x dash y dash. So whatever values you would be having, you just need to multiply this thing with the whole of the given thing in the rotation case. Okay, so now over here what it says is we need to consider it for multiple things. Okay, now what it says, rotation about arbitrary points. So till now we have seen this thing by keeping the pivot point or by keeping the origin point as 0 0, but it is not always the case. What if you are getting this thing at this particular point? Okay, and you just try to represent it with xr comma yr. So in this case you'd be having this equation, okay, for x dash and for y dash. So what it says is this equation will always differ from rotation about origin, and its matrix representation is also different. So you cannot consider the same case as we have seen for the origin. Okay, if you are taking arbitrary point, if you are taking some random point, then you need to like consider this equation for your purpose, because that earlier case wouldn't give you the correct answer. Okay, so now its matrix multiplication can be obtained by simple method. Rotation is also like rigid body transformation, so we need to rotate each point of object. Okay, so what it says is you need to apply the rotation equation to each and every point. Okay, so now over here we have the same thing. What it says is look at the new position of the triangle ABC after its rotation by 90° clockwise about the origin. Okay, so few things are given to us and we just need to start. Okay, so clockwise direction if I say, then what you have to do is you have to consider it as positive or negative, plus or minus, anyone? Negative value, right? And if it is count, okay, good. So as the rotation is clockwise, we will take theta as minus 90°. Okay, and we just try to put it in our equation. Okay, so the thing that we have over here is cos theta and minus sin theta, sin theta and cos theta. You just need to substitute this thing, that is minus 90° over here, and the remaining 10 things that is given to us, that is phi 4 83 and 88. Okay, these are the 3 points that are given to us, and we are representing it in the column vector form. Okay, whatever things we have, first of all try to simplify this thing and then multiply whole of this thing with the given matrix. Okay, so based on the values, cos minus 90 you'd be getting 0 value. For minus sine minus 90 degree you'd be getting 1 value. Similarly for this you have minus 1 value, and cos minus 90 is 0 value. So the thing is, in the examination, like this scientific calculator is allowed, so you can simply calculate this values. Okay, once you get this value, you put it in the matrix, and you just have to multiply it with the remaining things, remaining points that are given to you. Okay, so based on that thing, you just multiply it with this thing, that is 5 into 0, and it will be remaining with 0, and then 4 into 1, so you have 0 plus 4. So over here we have 4. Similar thing is to be applied for each and every endpoints, and you just need to get the resultant matrix. Okay, so if you are getting confused with the whole of this coordinates points, then you just try to apply it one by one. Okay, so that's how you can achieve the p dash. Okay, so that is the thing for rotation. So now the updated things that we have, the final coordinates after calculating all of this thing that we have is a dash, b dash, and c dash. Okay, 4 minus 5, 3 minus 8, and 8 minus 8. So this is an example for the rotation. Okay, similar thing we have scaling. Okay, so now what it says is transformation that is used to alter the size of an object is known as scaling. Okay, simple as that. So now scaling is needed to be applied. Okay, so this operation is carried out by multiplying the coordinate value. Okay, so we need to multiply, but obviously we want something to be scaled up. Okay, so what it says is by multiplying the coordinate value, that is xy, that is given to you with the scale factor sx and sy. Okay, so a few things have been given to us over here, and what we want to do is we just need to multiply this thing. Okay, so equation of scaling is given by simply multiplying x by sx and y by sy. Okay, so now similar thing, we'll convert it into the column vector matrix form, and we'll put it in this way. Okay, so that whatever things we get, it can be repositioned as well as it can be scaled up. Okay, so based on this thing that we have xx and sy into xy, so we'll put it in this form to get the resultant matrix. Okay, so what it says is any position value can be assigned to sx and sy. Okay, so now normal scaling will scale as well as reposition the object. Okay, so based on the things that you are taking, if you are considering the normal scaling, so it will also scale it up as well as it will reposition the object. Okay, scale factor less than 1 reduce the size and move object closer to the origin. Okay, and if you are taking greater than 1 value, then it will enlarge the size of an object and move the object away from the origin. Okay, simple thing as it is given over here. So now you could be asked to like scale it down if it says that you have to like reduce the size of you have to scale down your square or some object by half or something, then you have to consider that thing why we have to scale each and every value by half. Okay, so that is what we have to do, and we will see one example also with regards to the scaling parameters. Okay, so here what it says that scale the cos square with opposite corner coordinates point, that is 1 1 and 2 2 by scale factor 3 3. Okay, so scale factor is given to us, that is sx3 and sy3, so we just need to multiply it in our example. So that is over here 3003 as we have taken from the previous equation, multiplied by the coordinates that are given to us in case of square. Okay, so 1 1 2 2, and similar thing you'd be getting is 3 3 and 6 6. Okay, so if you try to plot it on your graph, you'll be getting a bigger version of the original thing that you were having. Okay, so this is one thing, that is scaling. Okay, so now same value of sx and sy will produce the uniform scaling, but if you change one of the value, then it will give you the differential scaling, that is not uniform scaling. Okay, so you can always use it for your purpose, for your application, else if it is for the examination purpose or for the manual calculation, you'll be given the parameters. Okay, so now over here what it says is we can control the position of an object after scaling by keeping one position fixed, called fixed point. Okay, as I told you that, okay, whenever you apply the scaling, this object will be repositioned as well as it will be scaled according to your requirement. But what if you want to keep that object at the same position side by side, you also want to scale it. Okay, so for that you have one concept over here, that is fixed point. Okay, and it is denoted with this thing, that is xf and yf. Okay, so we have two things over here by which we'll try to achieve this fixed point scaling. Okay, so now what it says is equation for scaling with fixed point is given as over here. Okay, so we have one thing, that is x dash and y dash. Okay, so whatever things we have seen over here, you just have to add it with the xf. Whatever parameter you are having, okay, you'll be having at that point, you just have to add it with this thing. Okay, plus x minus xf, because you don't want to reposition it at any other point or at any other location, you want to keep it at the fixed point. Okay, so you will be doing this thing, okay, at both the points, that is x and y. So now over here we have x dash and y dash, we have simplified it. Okay, over here, so we just have implement like multiplied sx with the inner terms. Okay, so you'll be having this thing, that is sx, okay, x sx minus xf sx. Okay, and then we'll try to find something in common. So we have kept one thing that is common, that is xf over here. Okay, so if you take xf as a common thing, common term, so you'll be getting one thing over here, that is 1 minus sx. Okay, to simplify it further, and but obviously you are also having this thing, that is an x sx. Okay, similar thing is to be done on the other side, that is at the y point. Okay, and you'll be having one thing, one equation that you can easily put it for your own purpose. Okay, so now polygons are scaled by applying scaling at coordinates and redrawing. Okay, so other bodies like circle and ellipse will scale using its defining parameters. Okay, similar flow, similar things we will adapt over here once we have done this theory part. Once we have seen some few like simple examples, we'll put it in the tutorial as well. Okay, and we'll like spare one lecture to solve the tutorials. Okay, because now onwards you are not going to do anything on Saturday, so we'll try to spare one lecture, okay, for the tutorial part. So in that we'll be solving some examples. Okay, so that side by side you get an idea that, okay, these are the things that we can expect in examination. Fine, so so for example, okay, again one more thing, if you want to do the tutorials, then also it is fine. If you don't, if you're not interested, also it is fine, because as you are saying that you are not having any credit for tutorials, so it is fine if you don't perform it. But yeah, if you perform it or if you calculate it, then it is, but obviously advantageous for you, because you can expect this kind of question. Okay, fine. So now, for example, ellipse can be scaled using its semi-major axis. So basic thing is that based on the shape definition, based on the different shapes that you can get at that point, you have to take that parameters. Okay, so that is what it says, ellipse can be scaled using its semi-major axis and minor axis, because we were operating on that thing only, that is the major and minor axis, and based on that you are trying to like expand it in that direction. Okay, and center point scaling and redrawing at that position. So okay, so we'll see this example, we'll try to see this thing, or we'll try to understand this thing. Okay, so now we over here we have an example, try to read it properly, carefully. So what it says is, consider a square with left bottom corner at 2 2 and right top corner at 6 6. Okay, and apply the transformation which makes it size half. So now we have one simple twist over here. Okay, so you can expect this thing. Okay, so but obviously what it says is you just need to scale it down. Okay, so as we want size half, so the value of scale factor that we are taking over here is 0.5. See, now these are the things that you have to do it by, like you need to make this decision while calculating this kind of example. Okay, so don't expect each and everything in the question. So sx will be 0.5, sy will be 0.5 in this case, and coordinates of square are also given to you. Okay, these are the things that is given to you. That is the left bottom corner 2 2 and the right top corner is 6 6. Okay, in between point you can always achieve. Okay, because we are considering a square. Okay, so these are the parameters that we have, but obviously now we need to put it in the column vector form in the matrix. Okay, so now over here, simple thing, take it from the previous scaling equation. Okay, sx0 0 sy. Okay, and then put all of the coordinates that you have. So in our case we have 2 2 6 2 6 6 2 6. Okay, put it in the column vector form and then simply multiply it. So the remaining thing, whatever resultant thing you are getting, that is the scaled thing that you have. Okay, so what obviously based on the answer you can easily see this thing, that is the remaining, the resultant thing that you are getting is 1 1. It has been scaled down. Similarly 3 1. Okay, 3 1 for the B. Similarly C has been scaled down to 3 3 and then 2 6. Okay, that is 1 3. So the final coordinates after scaling are, okay, so yeah, these are the things that we have after calculation. Okay, A dash B dash C dash D dash. Okay, so these are the things that you can perform on any object, on any things that you have, and try to understand this thing, try to get this thing. And yeah, so till now, if this thing is clear to you, you can like write in the comment box, okay, bhai, we are getting this thing and what we are trying to achieve out of it. Okay, these were the things that we were applying on the 2D objects only. Okay, so these are the things that we are applying on 2D objects. Once we finish all of this thing, we will be going to the 3D objects. Okay, so at that time we'll see that thing also. Okay, scaling, translation and rotation. Okay, okay, numericals पढ़ रहे अभी थोड़े ज़्यादा हो गए numericals. It is fine, this thing is simple, I think so. CG is your scoring subject. Your like seniors also got very good mark in this CG subject, because like in the example you can easily score the marks, because I won't be able to deduct your mark if you are getting each and everything proper. Okay, fine. So now matrix representation and homogeneous coordinates. Okay, so we'll see something that will like involve few things that will reduce the computation. Okay, and we'll see it. Okay, we'll try to add one more coordinate, okay, to the above given things. Okay, so now what it says is many graphic application involve sequence of geometric transformation. Okay, so for example, in design and picture construction application, we perform translation, rotation and scaling to fit the picture component into their proper position. Okay, so now what it says is for efficient processing, we will reformulate the transformation sequences. Okay, so based on that, if you already have achieved some rotation or some transformation, what it says is we will try to reformulate it. Okay, so that it could fit into our application, it could fit into our scenario. So that is what it says. So what it says, for this thing we have matrix representation of basic transformation, and we can express it in the general matrix form as this. Okay, so now whatever things we were having, okay, we try to put it in this form. Okay, so now over here, but obviously as you already know, p1 p and p dash, p is nothing but the initial thing that you are having, and p dash is the final point that you are calculating, okay, out of the given things. Okay, so now m1 contains rotation and scaling terms, and m2 contains the translation terms associated with the pivot points, fixed points or anything that is given to you. Okay, so based on all of this thing, we are trying to get the p dash. Okay, so now what it says is for efficient utilization, we must calculate all the sequence of transformation in one step. So whatever the things that you want to achieve on the given objects or on the given thing, what it says is you try to put all of this thing together and try to achieve them like required thing, okay, resultant thing. So that is what it says, and you just try to evaluate each and everything. So for that reason we reformulate above equation to eliminate the matrix addition associated with the translation term, that is M2. So now we are getting rid of this translation matrix, that is M2, okay, and we will reformulate this thing for our purpose. Okay, so how we can do this thing? So what it says is we can combine that thing by expanding this thing, that is 2 cross 2 matrix, and represent the whole of this matrix into 3 cross 3 matrix. Now you will see it how we can expand this thing. Now we can simply expand, or we can simply achieve this thing by putting the homogeneous coordinate. Okay, so what it will do is it will allow us to convert all the transformation into the matrix multiplications. Okay, so we won't be going in like in that side where we are adding something. Instead of that, we have removed that thing, we have eliminated that particular thing, and we have just simply expanded our 2 cross 2 matrix into the 3 cross 3 matrix form. Okay, how we can achieve this thing? With the help of homogeneous coordinates. Okay, so now what it says that our homogeneous coordinates can be represented. We need to represent vertex position xy with homogeneous coordinates triplets. Okay, so now the whole things would be denoted with the new terms that we have, that is xh, yh, comma h. Okay, fine. So now what it says, what is this actual sorry, x value? Okay, so now we have this x value equal to xh upon the h, comma y equal to yh upon h. Okay, so similar terms we just want to write. If you want to give the value, or if you want to take the value of x, what it says is you have to put it in this form, that is xh value. If you are putting it in that coordinate value or in that pixel value, what you have to do is you just have to multiply the homogeneous coordinate with the x value. Okay, so suppose the homogeneous coordinate value is 1, then you have to multiply to that value with the pixel value or the coordinate value. So suppose your coordinate value is 5 and your homogeneous value is 1, then you have to multiply it with that particular thing. So at the end you'd be remaining with one thing, that is 5. Okay, similar thing is to be done at the y side, and comma 1. So suppose the value of h is 1, so you have to put it over here in this equation. Okay, so don't worry if you are not getting it, we'll see one example, you'll get an idea. Okay, now over here, for two-dimensional geometric transformation, we can take value of h as any positive number. Okay, but now we need to keep it simple also. Okay, so what it says that we can get infinite homogeneous representation for coordinate values. Okay, so now to keep it simple, what it says, but convenient choice, generally what people do is, what the author says is, we will set this h value, the homogeneous coordinate value, as 1, as it is multiplicative identity. So whatever thing you multiply, you'll be getting the same value as it was. So we don't want to change that thing, so then xy is represented as x, y, and 1 if you put one value in the above equation. Okay, so now expressing the coordinates in the homogeneous coordinates form allows us to represent all the geometric transformation equation as matrix multiplication. Okay, so that is what we want to achieve out of this third thing, that is the homogeneous coordinate. Okay, so we'll put it in the translation. Okay, so now what it says, homogeneous matrix for translation. So we'll try to derive, or you can say we try to get separate equation for each and everything, for each and every transformations, that is translation, scaling, and rotation. The very first thing is the translation thing that we are having. So what it says is, let's say each representation with h1. Okay, so that is given over here. Okay, and we will try to multiply it with the pixel or with the coordinates that we can have. Okay, so now over here, putting it in this way, what you would be getting is this complete representation. Okay, if you convert this thing into the homogeneous coordinate form, you would be getting this thing. Okay, that is 1 0 tx, similarly 0 1 ty, similarly 0 0 1. Okay, and simply you have to put one coordinate in the third position, because now we are converting our 2 by 2 matrix into the 3 cross 3 thing. Okay, so now Similarly, what it says is inverse of the translation matrix is obtained by putting minus value, okay, over the translation parameter. Okay, so we have two things over here, tx ty. We want to achieve the inverse of the translation matrix, then we can just simply put minus value over that thing. Okay, so now simple thing, similar thing is to be applied to the rotation matrix. Okay, so for the rotation we already know we have this thing that is cos sine theta in the column vector form and minus sine cos theta over here. Okay, and now if we want to convert it in from the 2 cross 2 into the 3 cross 3 matrix, then what we will do is we will just add it in this way. Okay, so we'll be having this thing that is cos sine theta 0, cos theta sine theta 0 minus sine theta cos theta 0, 0, 0, 1. And similarly, we have to add one value to the pixel also. So that can be represented as xy1. Okay, so now similarly, what it says inverse of the rotation matrix is obtained by replacing theta by, yeah, what will be the translation matrix around points other than origin. Okay, so now what that is what I said, that if we are considering that case, that if we are considering other than the origin point, so our scenario or dimensions will change. Okay, for translation what it says is whatever things you get, you just have to add that value. Similarly for rotation, you are having that new equation. Okay, so what I will do is I will put that whole thing and I will put like multiple equation, multiple numericals in the tutorial part, so that you can get an idea that okay, what if the origin is not 0, 0. Okay, so how we can achieve the different things, how we can achieve the translation or rotation with other than the origin point. Okay, so I will put that thing also into the consideration. So we'll see this thing also other than the origin point. Okay, so this is for rotation. And then for scaling, again what we need to do is we need to apply, or we just need to multiply it with the pixel value. So but obviously we were having this thing that is sx0 and 0 sy, and we have considered whole of this thing, same thing over here, that is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, and then one value with the xy value as well. Okay, so now for scaling we will adapt this thing, and now for scaling we have to replace, if you want to take the inverse of the scaling matrix, then you have to take 1 by sx and 1 by sy value. Okay, so that is what it says. Okay, so now what it says is now in practice we need to apply more than one transformation to get the desired result. Okay, because it is not like that we will just deal with one thing and then you'd be getting that particular thing, but we will deal with all of this thing together. Okay, so it is time consuming to apply one transformation one by one on each point of the object. So for that purpose we multiply all the metrics of the required transformation, which is known as composite transformation matrix. So now one more thing that we are going to learn is this composite transformation matrix. So whatever things are with us, we'll try to calculate it beforehand and then we'll go ahead. Okay, so what it says, then we use the composite matrix to transform the object. Okay, how, that we will see. So for column matrix representation, we form the composite transformation by multiplying the matrix from right to left form. Okay, in this way you have to go. So whatever things will be given to you, you have to proceed from right to left instead of left to right. So अभी वो क्या है वो अभी आपको पता चल जाएगा. Okay, so for translation we have this thing. Okay, so two successive translations, so we are not now dealing with a single thing. Now you, what it says is, you, if you want to like perform two successive translation, two things at a single point or at the same time, so at that time you would be having this thing that okay, so translation parameters, translation values, that is xt x1 ty1. Similarly we have another thing that is tx2 ty2 with us. Okay, so what it says is, based on that you need to first of all go from right to left, okay, in this direction. And yeah, so that is what it says, and you have to multiply your pixel with the very first thing, that is the translation vector, translation value 1, and then whole of this thing is to be multiplied with the translation vector matrix 2. Okay, so that is what it says. And then Yeah, then you have to shift over here, so you have to go in this direction. Okay, so now, yeah, so now based on this thing, you have this representable thing with you. Okay, that is what you have to keep in mind for multiple translations. So it can be more than one, more than two, more than three. Okay, based on your requirement. Okay, fine. So now what it says is we will further simplify it. Okay, see, what we will do is we will keep our P aside because these are the thing. This is the thing that will be given to you because the thing, the translation, the rotation, the translation, whatever thing you are performing is on the pixel. So we'll keep it as it is as of now. And the things, suppose if we have multiple translation objects with us, then we'll like multiply it, okay, at this stage, and then we'll put it in a simple form. So whenever you work with any example, you just have to take the simple form of the equation instead of taking it in this way. Okay, that is for tx3y3, similar tx2y2, similar tx1y3, we'll just put it in this form. So kuch nahi kiya yahan pe, we have just multiplied this thing to get the simplified form. Okay, so कुछ नहीं है, ये multiplication यहाँ से start हो रहा है इसके साथ, similarly multiplication goes in that manner. Okay, and we'll be getting this values. Okay, तो पहली value आपको क्या मिल रही है, that is 10 tx1 plus tx2. Okay, तो कैसे मिलेगी, whenever you apply this thing over here, you'll be getting one value because we have 100 over here. So 00 will be multiplied with both of this term and you'll be remaining the single term, that is 1. Okay, similar things will be applied over here. Okay, and you'll be getting one value, that is 0. Okay, in the resultant matrix. Similar thing goes for this whole thing. Okay, so in this case you'll be getting tx1 because you are multiplying tx1 with 1. Similarly, you have one more thing, that is ty1, it is getting multiplied with 0, so you are having plus 0 value over here, and then again you are multiplying the remaining thing. Okay, that is in our case 1 with tx2. Okay, so you'd be remaining with the thing, that is tx1 plus tx2 over here. Similar thing is to be followed for the other thing as well. You already know the matrix multiplication thing, so you would be getting this thing out of the symbol calculation. Okay, so now that is what it says, and simple thing you have to follow is tx1 plus tx2, ty1 plus ty2. So whatever number of like parameters that are given to you, you just need to put it in this form. Okay, so now here p dash and p are the column vector of final and initial point coordinate respectively, that you already know. Okay, so now, but obviously this concept can be extended for any number of successive translations. So instead of doing it one by one, what it says is you have just combined all of these things so that our computation time or our like energy will be reduced. Okay, so now multiple translation example, we just will just see this last example and then we'll finish our today's lecture. Okay, so now obtain the final coordinates after two translations. Okay, so on a point p 2 3 with translation vector 4 3 and -1 -2 respectively. Okay, so now few things over here, you just need to put it in our equation, that's what we have like just now derived, and you have to go ahead with it. Okay, pixel आपको दिया हुआ है, that is 2 3. Okay, don't get confused with this thing. Okay, pixel, keep the pixel aside and then put the things that you have with you is this translation vector. Okay, the first vector is 4 3 and another vector is -1 2. Okay, so two things that we have is over here and we just have to put it over here. So but obviously in our case the very first thing that we have is tx1. Okay, because this is the first transition vector. Another thing is over here, that is -1, that is the another transition vector, that is transition value that is given to you. Okay, put it over here and try to get the resultant matrix. Okay, similarly goes here, that is 3, and then try to put the second transition vector over here, value over here, that is +2, and you'd be getting 5 value or whatever value you would be getting at that point. Okay, put all of this thing together and then multiply whole of this thing with 2 3 1. Okay, so now based on this calculation, what it says, you'd be having 3. Similarly for this calculation you are having 5, and then similar remaining things can be written as it is, and then you have to multiply around. Okay, and then you just have to multiply it with the given point. Okay, that is 2 3 and 1, and then that is what gives us the result, that is p dash, that is 581 in our case. But obviously we are dealing with this 2D coordinate, so remove the remaining homogeneous thing and you will be having the resultant thing as 5 8 after two such translations. Okay, so that is what it says. You just had to, like, you have to apply two translations on this 2 3 with the given values. So that is what you can do. Okay, now the thing is, yeah, now the thing is, if you get different scenarios, similar thing is, you cannot be getting the same thing that is written over here, that is given over here. So multiple scenarios I will create in the tutorial. I try to like put my knowledge in that particular tutorial and I will create that thing for you. Okay, so you don't get confused in examination or you don't get confused at any stage. Okay, multiple translation clear है आपको? Similarly किसके लिए देखना पड़ेगा? In the next lecture we have to again study it for the multiple rotation, okay, and multiple scaling. So multiple अगर आ रहा है तो you have to consider more than one, okay, और वो जो भी values है you just put it in the general equation and try to achieve the result. Okay, fine. So this is the new thing that we have started today, and try to understand it. Else fine. अगर tutorials point है Geeks for Geeks है, if you try to search on that, you'd be having different dimensions, row vector, column vector में थोड़ा ध्यान रखना. If you get confused at that stage, so just try to like refer to this thing, okay, to the PPT and try to understand this thing. Fine. That's it for today. Anything? Any question?